good. Hold it. The kick is no good. It is wide right. And the Steelers are the champions of the North.
This is now going to affect him for the rest of the year. He can't just forget about it and say, oh, whatever. No, this is going to be on him for a very long time. He has to wait for the whole next season if they decide to give him a chance, and how he's able to come back from this, how he's able to bounce back and execute next season whenever he's getting in. He can't mess up again. Welcome to Mind Academy Sports, where we help athletes learn the connection between their mind and performance. This is a very, very important video. If you're an athlete and you're a coach, I promise if you watch to the end of the video, you are going to learn something, some insight, some level of information that's going to be able to help you maybe this season or next season, or with an athlete that you're training or you're coaching. Just follow me. I promise I'm going to drop some gems. Okay, so we saw it again. I didn't watch the game, but I saw the highlights. You got Ravens, you got Steelers. The game is on the line. If the Ravens lose, their season is over. Everything's riding on this moment. And one thing that I paid attention to, I looked it up. Actually, I already kind of knew it. Every coach spends an average of 13 hours a day at the office during the season and during important moments of the off season. 13 hours a day. Think about it as a coach, how much time that you spend trying to get better as a coach, whether it be recruiting, whether it be personnel, whether it be trying to figure out what scheme that you have to be able to execute. Okay, these coaches spend a lot of time. Not only do they spend a lot of time, their wives have to sacrifice, their kids have to sacrifice. Everything is going on the line, and it's a lot of stress. Some people are in contract ending years or whatever, so the coaches make a great sacrifice. And me playing in college, I was just like, I was kind of amazed when I get done. I'm getting done working out, or I may be getting done coming from classes or my dorm room, and I see one coach leaving. He leaving at 10:30. He leaving at 11. So I understand firsthand that these coaches spend a lot of time trying to succeed, trying to win. And then obviously you're talking about the athletes. We already know the level of work they put in. But here's the key. What I always say is that your legacy comes down to these moments. Okay? These little moments where you have an opportunity in a small amount of time to execute and to produce. It means a lot for your team. And watch it means a lot for yourself. I remember me playing, we didn't have a transfer portal. And I started out, I'm not even trying to brag, but just some history. So I started out, and I started out running a 4.6 as a running back. I had a lot of good things going. My last year, I ran a 4.2. So I really, really progressed when it came to college. So I had an opportunity. I had an opportunity to go to Indiana State. I had an opportunity to go to Eastern Michigan. Okay, I passed on both of them because I didn't know about the politics of sports. I said, I know where some coaches is at. I'm going D3. Maybe I can play good. Maybe I can ball out. But I know there's no political game that's going to happen here. So I took it. But me going from NAI to D3, I'm like, the competition is going to be easy. It's going to be easy and effortless. I spent a whole lot of time training. A lot of time training with some really great athletes. A couple went to the NFL, mostly D1 people. So when I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, I was training nonstop. When I'm talking about for 3 straight years, going from a 4.6 to a 4.28 training, and I thought I was on top of the world. Well, here it goes. They give me an opportunity to play. I'm at Trine University. First game, played like trash, according to me. So I didn't start the first game. The second game, they put me in. First quarter, about, was it 2 minutes ago in the first quarter? They put me in. And I made like 4 people miss. It was between me and the safety. And I would have had a touchdown. Literally, just make one safety miss. I make the guy miss. But the ball is out here when I came and make the cut. So the guy actually made me fumble. And our coach had a rule. He said, if you fumble, you out. You know, and you're out until the next guy messes up. And I had a history of, at the last school I was at, it was one running back. You're not playing if you're not going to get another shot if this other running back's in. So me, in my mind, I'm thinking they brought me here. They don't know how well I can play. Maybe I am a fake. This came in my mind when I was on the sideline. Second game, I don't have a lot of college experience, even though this is my last year. Maybe I'm a fake. Maybe, you know, so I ran a fast 40. You know, I jumped high. So what? Maybe something about me. Maybe I just been faking my whole life. Maybe I'm not that guy. I can't even produce on a D3 field. Maybe I'm not that guy. This was a legacy moment for me. Now, if the running back would have balled out for the rest of the season and I had to sit back and look my dad in the eye, look my family and my face and myself in the face, it would have did something to me. It might have really destroyed me and interrupted my sense of self, like really, really took me down. So when I say that these moments have the ability to shape your legacy and how you view yourself, I really mean it. Now, the rest of that game, the running back did end up messing up, and I got in at the end of the third quarter and balled out. Had 128 yards that game and had a really good season. But that's because I said, forget this. I got to implement this mental game because whatever's going on, I got to fix it. But I said all that to say that your legacy comes down to these moments. And we see Tyler Loop. Now he's a rookie. Everybody's counting on him. So because he missed this kick, this is now going to affect him for the rest of the year. He can't just forget about it and say, oh, whatever. No, this is going to be on him for a very long time. He has to wait for the whole next season if they decide to give him a chance, and how he's able to come back from this, how he's able to bounce back and execute next season whenever he's getting in. He can't mess up again. He's got to get mental training from the right guy because this has the ability to follow him. I forget the wide receiver's name. I covered him. His last name was Tony. He played for the Chiefs. He had a series of drops. Next thing you know, he's out the league. Next thing you know, he's getting in trouble, legal battles, and he's permanently out the league. So this happened with the Ravens. Oh, so now I got to tell you, not only did this affect him, now they're talking about John Harbaugh because he didn't make the playoffs. Now they're talking about his job is in jeopardy. So his legacy is on the line. Okay, so that happened to the Ravens this year. Now I'm going to show you a clip, which I wanted to do a video, but I'm glad I didn't. The same exact team. I believe the tight end is Mark Andrews. They in the AFC divisional game. Okay? All they have to do is execute this play on this 2-yard play. And they go into overtime.
Bateman is back in. The whole season essentially comes down to this play for these two great teams. Roll, flip it, got it. Oh, the ball was dropped.
Earlier, Andrews had a drop as well earlier, and for the game to go possibly to overtime, and the conditions, the ball's just a little bit short. You got to catch that all day, but your foot's...
He has a 2-yard catch, which he does easily. He can make it in the back of his hand. But because of the pressure the moment got to him, maybe it was a lack of focus and execution, that moment messed up his legacy. It's still on him. He still has not recovered from that. And it's because we do not understand the importance of training our minds for each and every occasion. Every time you go out there. Now, if you're sports, if you play any type of sports, you know you've got to work on your game to make sure you're ready physically. But we don't make sure that we're ready mentally. Okay, so I want you guys to think, if you're a coach, how much you put into this game. I want you to think, if you're an athlete, how much you put into this game. So why would you not treat the mental game as important as you do the physical game? I know we watch film. I know we want to talk about it, but we have to really understand what goes on inside of our mind, inside of our brain, how much of a muscle our mind is, and how to get it on our side instead of it working against us. So think about it if you're the coach, how many hours you put in, how your family is counting on you to actually get your team to a certain level. If you're an athlete, how much time you're putting in to work on your game. You owe it to yourself to understand the power of the mind. You owe it to yourself to train your mind the right way for the moment, because your mind is like a bridge. Like you worked on your game, you got your game to a certain level, and that's your potential. Okay, but your ability to extract your potential, extract all that you are in a moment, comes down to your ability to, it's your mind. Okay, that's like the bridge between your potential and what you actually produce is your mind in that moment. It's your mind in that moment. I can break down why in another video. We can talk about fear, and we can talk about your amygdala, and we can talk about the pressures of the situations and how it fires certain thoughts inside of your brain and all that. But all I want you guys to understand from this video is how much this impacts you. Look at these moments. This man got to go back in 9 months. He's replaying the same play. He's replaying the same play over and over and over again. It's because he didn't understand the power of training his mind. Okay, guys, hopefully I illustrated the importance of training your mind and understanding no matter what sport you play, this is serious. This is very, very important. And I believe another thing that I might hit on, and I think I might hit on another video, is if you are a team, maybe you're a college team, or maybe you're an athlete trying to figure out who you should go with. Number one, I think that that colleges and universities can use more than one person, because as I've been in this thing for 10 years, I've been in the sports psychology field for 10 years. I understand, and I've been looking all around and used other people and did different types of therapies. There are people who have different type of modalities, different things that they used and learned. So what one person can bring to the table, he can strengthen one athlete this way, and the other person can strengthen another athlete in another way. So you can use more than one person. But what I think is important is that people don't just choose people based on, I don't want to say clout, I don't want to say degrees or whatever, because those things can be good. But you always want to choose someone who has a proven track record. Someone has a proven track record of real transformation in real time. It's not just important for you to say, hey, I'm a mental coach, or I have this degree, which is great. I have degrees too. But I think it's more important for people to have a track record of success, especially in this thing, a track record of really helping athletes transform. Okay, so that's all I want to put out today. I want to really cover that topic. Guys, remember, as you leave, you're only one thought away from your next greatest performance.